The torture that is done to extort the money is really excessive and just really beyond imagination, and that many people die in captivity. So the threat of dying is very real, which is why people are very stressed when they speak to relatives on the phone and being under extreme hardship. Which is also why the money is paid, because if you hear that on the other end, you're not going to let your nephew or your cousin or your daughter or son stay in that way. 95% of the people in Sinai originate from Eritrea, which is a country that has been on the bottom list of the Freedom House Index for the last 5 years. So people have a lot of reason to flee that country, but people are also very scared to be deported back to the country. And in a way, the lack of alternatives is also creating that pressure that people pay for them to be released. But then they still cannot go anywhere, because if they go to Cairo or if they go to Israel, they are still deported back to Eritrea, where also they are then locked up because they would have illegally left the country, because you cannot in a legal way leave the country. One of the very most important recommendations is that we need to support UNHCR to allow for safe places in Ethiopia and the Sudan, where the refugees can stay, where they get identity papers, where they don't have to pay bakshish or things to get identity papers. And then the other element that we are asking is that there will be criminal investigation, because it's clearly an organization and it's clearly involving officials in the Eritrean government. We ask that European Union development cooperation to Eritrea is absolutely stopped, because we shouldn't be in any humanitarian business with that kind of a regime. And the last thing that we ask is that the refugees from Eritrea are recognized as political prisoners as a group, and that both in Israel but also in the European Union we create solutions to give them a safe place, because they have a right to have somewhere on this earth a safe place.